Alright, so when we look at the eye, we have the extrinsic eye muscles, so all the muscles on the outside of the eye, these are extrinsic eye muscles. They each have a name that you don't have to know for this class, but you have superior rectus, you have lateral rectus, medial rectus, and then down here there is an inferior rectus muscle. There are also two oblique muscles as well, but like I said, you just kind of have to know extrinsic eye muscles for this class. The white part of the eye, so all this white we're seeing here, or even if we open this up, the white you're seeing here, that's going to be the sclera. This clear kind of domed portion that you're seeing right here, that is the cornea. So you have the cornea here. When you kind of lift this off, we can see the next layer here is the choroid layer. So we had sclera and then choroid. Here we can see the colored part of the eye, which is the iris, and then the actual space or hole that you're seeing there is the opening there is the pupil. You're seeing the actual structure that's right there is the lens behind that, but the actual hole itself is the pupil. You can kind of see when you look in here that there's a space in here. So the space that's in here is going to be the anterior chamber, and the anterior chamber is filled with aqueous humor, and it's that liquidy, like watery fluid that's there. If we open this up, there, we can kind of see here, you can see there's our sclera, the red right here, that's the choroid layer, and then that innermost layer right here, the peach layer, that's going to be the retina. So that's where the rods, the cone cells, bipolar cells, ganglion cells, all of those are in the retina. Then here, this is the lens. So the lens separates the anterior chamber from the posterior chamber. So this is filled with aqueous humor. The posterior chamber is filled with vitreous humor. So this big plastic piece is supposed to represent the vitreous humor that's found in the posterior chamber, but it's that real gelatinous-like material in the posterior chamber there. When you take that out, here you can see the optic disc that's here. So that's also called the blind spot, because this is where you have all the blood vessels and nerves coming through, so there are no photoreceptors, so you don't have any color vision or any vision or in that spot, because it's all the nerve fibers and blood vessels. To the side of that, over here, this kind of like little pink spot there. In one of the other eye models, it's a purple. It's easier to see in the little eye model that has the full extent of muscles, but this little spot back here, this is going to be the fovea centralis. That's going to be where you have the highest concentration of cone cells, so that's where you have the best color vision, is right there on that fovea centralis. So that's a lot of times when you're looking, it's hard to see. It's like a light pink. On this thing, I think it has a number on this piece right here where it says like 13. It's just a really light pink layer. Like I said, on the other eye model, it's a purple spot. So you always see kind of like the optic disc or blind spot, and then if you go to the side, it's going to be that fovea centralis. So if you're seeing something like this particular spot, that's what that is. Like I said, it's purple in one of the other eye models. So we can kind of see that. All of this kind of together, like put this, oops, there goes the lens. Like this would be the optic nerve here, like when you put all this together, that's the optic nerve that you're seeing there. You kind of see that. Inside, you have blood vessels, you don't have to know the names, but you have arteries and veins there inside of, running along the retina there. So you can kind of see those. You have the ciliary body, which is right here. I mean, it's all of this here, but you can see that kind of the thickness that it's a muscle. And coming off of that, you would have little suspensory ligaments that would attach to the lens, and when the ciliary body, when that muscle contracts, it pulls on the suspensory ligaments that pulls and changes the shape of the lens, which allows you to focus either near or far. So changing the shape of the lens is going to allow you to focus different distances. So that's going to be those ciliary bodies there. You can see it right here, ciliary body here. But like I said, it's all kind of that right there, but here you can kind of see, I like it because you can see the thickness, and it's like an actual muscle instead of just like here it looks kind of flat. But you kind of see that structure there. I think that's everything on that model.